Wow, did all of you see those massive changes the Diablo 4 team is making with their 4th season? It looks like the game is finally actually releasing after a paid early access period, a paid official launch, 3 seasons of battle passes, and plenty of $60 mounts and other cosmetics added to the store. I, for one, am ecstatic. As a person who primarily plays Path of Exile, a tiny bit of Last Epoch, and an even tinier slice of Diablo 4, this can only be a good thing. Whether you're a PoE player like myself, a Diablo player interested in the take of a dude who apparently looks like a stalker, or someone who somehow found themselves clicking on this video because it said Blizzard in yellow and bold, I hope you walk away with a positive opinion and a mindset that is healthy for all gamers. Say it with me. Competition is healthy for gaming. Talamoana Exiles, I am Try. Subscribe to the channel for more insane and unhinged takes. Now, let's talk some Diablo 4 and Path of Exile. Season 4 changes. Diablo 4 Season 4 hits on May 14th. After a week-long public test realm for the season's big changes, D4 players are exuberant about the future of the game. After all, why wouldn't they be? There are a plethora of changes that improve the base game, and as many people are repeating, Season 4 is actually the real release of Diablo 4. Call it Diablo 4 1.0. Call it Diablo 4 2.0. It matters not. The changes, at least to lots of Diablo 4 players and content creators, merit the title. If this is true, it means ARPG players across the board will be eating well, especially grinding gear games. I will explain soon. Here's a quick rundown of the season's big alterations. Items are completely being reworked, affixes, power, and all. This is seen as a W by most players. Crafting is coming to the game, allowing players to easily add affixes to items. It's basically Last Epoch's own crafting system. New repeatable endgame content is being added in the form of the Pit. It's essentially greater rifts from Diablo 3. Lots of people are also excited by this. Helltides, the largest open world event type, are being updated to be more diverse, exciting, and rewarding. Again, this is a universally liked decision. These 4 large updates are causing lots of stir in the ARPG community and making a return to D4 feasible for many in Season 4. Seemingly, this is another step in the right direction for Blizzard, and if you haven't tried Diablo 4 before, now might be your chance to do so, either on Game Pass for free, or during one of its 40 to 50% off sales. Do not buy it at full price. Many others have made that mistake. Riker is cautiously optimistic about the updates despite initial trepidation. Darth Microtransaction is also a fan of what's going on. He's smiling ear to ear and quite hyped about many of the changes happening, even though he was quite deflated about the state of D4 before these updates. Rax is his normal self. I love Rax. Asmongold is even going to try Season 4 out after skipping Season 3. We'll see how hard he molds very soon. Even if I'm skeptical I would enjoy the game, I cannot deny Blizzard appears to be listening. For now, and here's why that's only a good thing for those who don't currently enjoy Diablo 4 or any other Blizzard properties. The ARPG Cycle. Back before the release of Diablo 4 during the early days of this channel, I released a video called Why Diablo 4's Tremendous Popularity Will Help Path of Exile 2. In it, I was adamant Path of Exile as a whole would only see a surge of players after D4's release, whether it was good, bad, or something in between. I was right. Plenty of players played D4, grew bored, and migrated to PoE. Some of them bounced quickly, others became severely addicted like the rest of us. A select few began bouncing between ARPGs, stuck in a never-ending cycle during which their lives became wrapped in an enigma to anyone on the outside as they played Diablo 4, Last Epoch, and Path of Exile ad nauseum. It's not a secret D4 had a terrible reception after its initial release. Early updates were bad, Season 1 was bad, Season 2 was okay, Season 3 was bad, then okay, then bad again. Now, Season 4 seems packed with content people are excited for and they have been asking for, some before the release of the game. If Blizzard delivers, this just means more people will begin playing Diablo 4 after a boom of positivity. Then the cycle shall continue. After all, Diablo 4 was the best marketing campaign for Last Epoch and especially Path of Exile, and neither developer of those games had to spend a single cent. It was all done by big boy Blizzard. Huge thank you to them. Just like the release of Diablo 3, Diablo 4 was likely the single largest surge of players into the ARPG genre ever, and if it continues to get better, the Blizzard name and brand, however tarnished, will continue to bring new players into the games we love. But that's not all. If Diablo 4 as a game improves, other games will be forced to improve as well, especially since the ARPG genre is currently dominated by 3 big names: Path of Exile, Last Epoch, and Diablo 4. But before we get into that, I would like to ask, give this video a like if you're enjoying it, and subscribe for more content. Thank you. Thanks to you for watching and all my patrons for their support. When Last Epoch launched onto the scene in February of this year, it immediately made its competitors rethink their take on game design. For example, Diablo 4 completely lifted Last Epoch's crafting system wholesale. It's what Blizzard does best, and really, it's what lots of other developers should do more often: steal good systems and make them better or make them fit their own game. It's shocking, but this was the first real example of D4 really working this method. Good work, Last Epoch. As another example, the PoE team were forced to rethink their manifesto on trade due to Last Epoch. Now in Path of Exile 2, which should go into beta later this year, we will be able to instantly buy out items and have them delivered to us. Before Last Epoch's release, this never would have happened. We can go a bit back in time and think about Last Epoch's own development. Many facets of Path of Exile can be seen in Last Epoch, and lots of lessons learned from Diablo 3's development can also be seen in both Last Epoch and Path of Exile. For example, skill and character complexity is far deeper in both games compared to D3. Both games have deeper endgame systems than D3, and both have deeper itemization systems than D3. Even Last Epoch learned lessons from Path of Exile. Its crafting system is far more streamlined than PoE's, and that is intentional. It's going to happen, everyone. Another cycle shall begin. In addition to Diablo 4 bringing more players to the genre, now if it continues to improve and in the future innovate, it will force its competitors to do the same. 2 examples of this are happening with Path of Exile 2, even if the developers say it isn't so. Diablo 4 has mounts and a dodge roll. Now, Path of Exile 2 will have a dodge roll and, surprise surprise, mounts. However, grinding gear games is going a step above their competitors. Dodge rolls in PoE 2 can be heavily modified with skill gems and items, while mounts aren't just a movement gimmick, they are actual gems that can be modified, and you can even attack and use skills while riding on them. And when you dismount, your mount will become a minion. Expect further innovation to emerge from these types of cycles. Let's support this. Thus, here's the ask to the greater ARPG community. Let's support this. The D4 bad PoE good meme might be real, but none can deny the positive impact D4 and Last Epoch, PoE's biggest competitors, have had on the genre. It's truly exquisite. Path of Exile emerged as a spiritual successor to Diablo 2. Diablo 3 emerged right around Path of Exile 1's initial alpha release. People swarmed to PoE from Diablo 3, and thus the cycle continued for many years until Diablo 4 lumbered onto the scene and brought a bunch more people to enjoy it, Last Epoch, and Path of Exile. It'll continue for many years to come, as long as we support the cycle. When developers do good, let's support them. When they do poorly, we know what to chant with absolute certainty. D4 bad, D4 bad, D4 bad. For now, that chant might be fading with the release of Season 4, but all of us know the basket of hatred is fast approaching. I sense some spicy drama on the way, especially if it hits right around the release of the brand new Path of Exile 2, which will definitely be less cooked than Diablo 4 because it'll be a brand new game. So what's your take, Exiles? Will you be trying out Season 4 of Diablo 4, or will you be staying on the sidelines for all the juicy content? Now, if you're in the mood for some more Path of Exile and Diablo discussion, you should be totally sane and watch the video on screen now. Talakura, Exiles.